Examples for A and B involve finding an equation and then solving it from a worded description. Example 4A. Find 3 consecutive even numbers whose sum is 510. The first step in any worded problem is to use a highlighter or a pen to underline or highlight the important parts of a question. In this particular case, the important parts are 3 consecutive even numbers and sum is 510. Our first step is to arithmetically show 3 consecutive even numbers. We'll start with the even portion of that. Any number that's multiplied by 2 will give you something that's even. So if you've got 3 and you times it by 2, you get 6. If you've got 4 and you times it by 2, you get 8. So any number multiplied by 2 will give you an even value. Now if you take any even number and you add 2 to it, or add indeed any even value, you will get an even number. Using this, we can find 3 consecutive numbers. So the first number is just going to be 2 lots of, in this case I'm using x. The second number is take that first number, 2x plus 2x, and plus 2 to it. That's going to give me my next consecutive even number. Again, take the previous number and add 2 to it, will give me my third consecutive even number. The next portion of this is to recognize that the sum of these 3 consecutive numbers is going to be 510. So if I add these 3 numbers, number 1, number 2, and number 3 together, I'll get 510. Substituting in what we know those numbers to be, and then we're going to simplify this down. So 2x plus 2x plus 2x is 6x. 2 plus 4 is 6. This is going to leave us with 6x plus 6 is equal to 510. Minus 6 from both sides, giving me 6x equals 504. Divide by 6, giving us x equals 84. Now, it's tempting to leave that as my answer, box it and done, but notice that I'm after finding 3 consecutive even numbers. So I actually want to know what those numbers are. My first number is going to be 2 times 84. So I'm just taking what I found and I'm substituting it into each of these equations that we created earlier. So my first number is 2 times 84, or 168. My second number is 168 plus 2, 170. Third number being 170 plus 2, 172. I'm going to take those 3 values, or 3 consecutive even numbers, put a box around them, and I'm done. Example 4b. Uncle Luigi is 3 times as old as his niece Tess. His nephew Jack is 3 years younger than Tess. If the ages sum to 82, how old is Uncle Luigi? Your first step in any worded problem is to use a highlighter or a pen to identify the key pieces of information. In this particular case, I'm going to use different colours to represent Uncle Luigi, the arithmetic sums, Tess, and Jack. i.e., I'm using here green for Uncle Luigi, blue for the sums, pink for Tess, and Jack is in orange. This is just to separate the information and make it stand out a little bit more what is important. I've also underlined Uncle Luigi because in the end, my answer has to be in terms of Luigi's Luigi's age. We now need to identify pronumerals that we'll use for Luigi, Tess, and Jack in any of our equations. And you do need to write these down unless you're given them in the original worded problem. In this particular case, I'll use Luigi equals to L, Tess is equal to T, and Jack will be equal to J. Using the first piece of information that Uncle Luigi is 3 times as old as his niece Tess, we can create an expression where Luigi is equal to 3 lots of Tess's age. We can then use the statement that Jack is 3 years younger than Tess to create an expression or an equation. Jack is equal to Tess minus 3 years. Now using the last piece of information, i.e. sum to 82, so their ages sum to 82 years old, we can create the last equation. So we know if they sum to 82, then Luigi plus Tess plus Jack is going to have to equal 82 years. That's all the information we can get from the worded portion of this question. And it's now just a case of using the three equations that we've created to solve it. What we should be noticing is that I've got Luigi's age in terms of Tess, and Jack's age in terms of Tess, and an equation where I've got Luigi and Jack and Tess. So if I substitute in what I know Luigi's age is and what I know Jack's age is for L and J, then I can have an equation which just has Tess in it. So for instance, taking those, we're going to have 3t plus t minus 3 plus t equal to 82. I now need to solve for t by simplifying the left-hand side of the equation, giving me 5t minus 3 equals 82, plus the 3 to both sides, 5t equals to 85, divide by 5, giving me t equals to 17. So we now know that Tess's age is 17 years old. Recall, however, that we don't want Tess's age, we want to know how old Luigi is. So we're going to take Tess's age and we can substitute it back into the equation L equals 3 times 2. I'm just going to label that as number 1, so equation 1. Substituting it in, I get L equals 3 times 17, which is L equal to 51, i.e. Luigi is 51 years old. Put a red box around it, that is your end answer. That is examples for A and B complete.